we decided that it would be fun to play some games with water and see how strong water is and see how fast water is and see what it does. And we called it the Water Olympics. And if you recognize those rings from the real Olympic Games, that's going to be part of our score sheet. We're going to keep track of the games we play with water. So, right. And of course, February is Water Month, and you can earn a patch, a water drop patch. Whoops, I'm holding it upside down. There we go. By doing some of the activities with me today. So here we go. Let the games begin. Well, what can we do to prepare water for our games? Let's see. Whenever you're trying to do an athletic event, you try to do some stretches. So I'm going to get out a little bit of the water that I didn't spill all over the floor. And I am going to take and drop it onto it. If you have a paper plate, you can do this, but I am going to take a mirror so you can see it better on camera. And I'm going to take a dropper and I'm just going to put a couple of drops of water on my mirror, but you can do that on any surface. You could do it on the table. You could do it on the countertop, and I just put a few drops of water, or you could do it right on a plate too. And I'm going to change my camera to the tabletop so you can see what I'm doing on my mirror. And let's try this. Do you see the drops on my mirror? Yep, there they are. So let's do some water stretches before we get our games going. So you can drop it on a paper plate. You can drop your water anywhere you want. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take, if you have a pencil or your finger or anything, your fingernail will work. See how far you can stretch just a little water dot. Whoa, did you see how far that stretched? Here's another one. I'm going to stretch this one. Stretch. Whoa. Wow. And I'm going to stretch my water drop. Stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch. Look what water can do. Whoa, those were just little round drops, and I've stretched and stretched and made them spread all over my mirror. There. Whoa. Can you see how I stretched that water? Look at that. Those aren't drops anymore. Those are stretches. And that's because water likes to hang on to itself kind of magnetically. So let me take and go back to the FaceTime camera because we're going to let these games begin. Okay, water and my stretched water. I don't know. There you go. And a little drip too. A little drip and stretch. Okay, put that down. Okay, let the games begin. The first game that we're going to play, you need a cup of water. We'll put some in there. You need some pennies. I have a whole bowl of pennies. And probably a tray or a plate that would work on a little paper plate or like my plastic plate here so that I don't spill water all over the floor or over my table. So what I'm going to do is stick my cup here, and this one is called Over the Top. Okay, some water and water. I'm going to fill the water all the way to the top of my cup till it almost spills over. There. Can you see how I just did it right to the very edge of my cup? And I'm going to put in, maybe one or two more drops because it's not quite to the edge. Make sure that it's right up to the very edge of my cup, like that. Okay, so now that's pretty good. All right, so I've got my little paper plate water catcher, and I've got the water right up to the rim of my cup. And now we're going to measure and count how many pennies it will take to make water actually spill over the top of the cup. This is called over the top, and we're going to score it and put it on our score sheet. Okay, so I got my pennies. I'm going to drop them in one at a time. One, and it still didn't go over the top. See, the pennies take up space. And so when the pennies take up space, they push the level of the water just a little bit higher. It's called displacement. And I've got 3 pennies in there, and I haven't spilled any water over the top of my cup yet. Each penny is displacing a little bit of water because it takes up space. There's 5, there's 6, there's 7, and it still isn't spilling. And 8, and 9, and 10. Oh my goodness, 11, 12, 13, and it still isn't spilling over the top. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Am I going to run out of pennies? I might. Whoa, each penny is taking up more space. What am I at? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh my goodness. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Whoa. 29, 30. You know, I'm watching something interesting happening at the rim of my cup. It looks like the water is rising almost higher than the rim of my cup. Okay, 30, 31. No drips yet. 32, 33, 34. Oh, it still doesn't spill. 35, 30. Uh-oh. I saw a drip at 35. Let's try 36. Nope. That was just a splash. We won't count that one. 37, 38, 39. Oh my goodness. 40, 41. Oh my goodness. 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. Oh no, I only have 3 more pennies left. Didn't think it was going to take this many. 47, 48, 49, 50, and it still hasn't spilled yet. That water is really good at hanging on to itself. It's called surface tension. The molecules of water at the top edge of my glass are hanging on to each other just like this because they're polar molecules. They have a negative and a positive, and they attract each other. And you know what? I've got some emergency quarters. Just in case I ran out of pennies, I am going to slip a quarter in there. So 50 pennies and 1 quarter, 50 pennies and 2 quarters, 50 pennies and 3 quarters, 50 pennies and 4 quarters, 50 pennies and 5 quarters, 50 pennies and 6 quarters. Oh, that might have done it. Let's try 6, 7, 8. That one was a splash. 50 pennies and 8 quarters, 9 quarters, and I got drip. I think we're going to call it 9, I think, because I just saw some more water go down the side of my glass. Wow, 50 pennies and 9 quarters. Here's 10 just for fun. Oh, yep, it dripped. Uh-oh, yep, that was it. So here's my score sheet. And that was our over the top game. And I'm going to write down 50 pennies, and probably about 11 quarters. That is our score for the over the top penny game. Now, are you still putting pennies into your cup? Did you make it overflow? Did you get it to overflow? how many pennies do you have? There's the game. How many pennies did you put in there? Because I can write that down on my score sheet. But what I'm going to do is it's got, oh, wow, I can't even pick this up. It's spilling, it's spilling. I'm going to get this out of my, whoa. All right, so I'm going to put this back in my, yeah, I made a big mess with that. That's all right. Okay, so are you ready for the next game? I am. So we're going to do a game called Penny Droppers. And you're going to need you're going to need a couple of pennies here, just two. There's the table. I have 2 pennies. And I put one on heads where I can see Lincoln. And I put one on tails so I can see, I think that's the Lincoln Memorial on the other side. So there we go. And what we're going to do is you're going to need a little dropper. And of course, some water. And I'm going to put a little bit of water in. I got a big picture, but I want a smaller amount so I can get to it very easily. So I have a little cup of water. Now we're going to measure the amount of water drops that you can put onto a penny without it spilling off into the plate. And again, we're measuring a thing called surface tension, where the molecules of the water like to hang on to each other. And they're going to, how many drops of water can you put onto the surface of a penny? So first I'm going to try the heads, and I'm going to count, and I'm going to drop the water drop by drop. Squirt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There, can you see the water kind of still sitting on the top of the penny? 9 drops of water so far. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I got 17 drops so far on my penny. It's still saying, okay, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. What? And it still hasn't spilled? Water is amazing. 26, 27, 28. Oh, 28. Okay, well, that was heads. Let me do tails and count again. And you can keep counting and see how many. So here's tails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 29. 29, 28 drops and 29 drops. So I am going to put that on my score sheet. And 28 for heads and 29 for tails. How you doing with dropping water on pennies? What's your score? All right, so wow, that's a lot of water drops to fit onto the head of a penny. So now we're going to hang up that score sheet, and we're going to do another game to see what water can do. There we go. We're going to play a game called Clippers. So to play this game, you need some paper clips. I've got some in a box. I'm going to take that out of there in a minute. And need a little fork. And I got 2 forks. I think that maybe I'm going to use this fork. And paper clips, and of course, some water in my bowl. And if you have ever kind of played around with paper clips and water before, you know that they usually sink right to the bottom. See that? It's sinking down the bottom. So our game challenge today is to see how many paper clips we can float on the surface of the water. So get out your bowl, get out some paper clips, and here's how we're going to do it. This is measuring surface tension again. Will the surface of the water hold up a paper clip, or will it just sink? And how many paper clips can we get this bowl to float? So put a paper clip on the edge of your fork like this, and gently sink your fork down into the water. And then move it to the side and pull it up. Whoa! Can you see how that's floating? I'm gonna sink one so you can see that it doesn't move and it's underwater. But that one, if I blow on the surface of the water, you can see it move. So how many can you float on the surface of the water? Oh, cool, I just did 2. So try it out. How many can we float? Here's 3. I hope I'm not going too fast. Here's 4. This game is called Clippers, Paper Clippers. So I got 4 floaters, don't I? 4 floaters. Here's another one. 5. Whoa, and I have to watch out that I don't sink one. 5. Here's another one. 6. Oh, they're starting to stick to each other. Here's 7. Okay, how are you guys doing with floating paper clips? The game called Clippers. 7. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, that one didn't work. I got a sinker. 7. See if I can do some more. 7, 8, 9. Wow. Uh-oh, that one's stuck together. 10, 11. What? Uh-oh. 12. Okay, I have 12 floaters and 2 sinkers. How are you guys doing? I hope you're floating some. 12. Wait, I gotta count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, this is 12. All right. 12. 13. Wow. 14. Water is strong. 15. Oh no, it sank. Okay, 14. Let's see if I can do another one though. 14. Here's another one. 15. I'm running out of space. 16. They're all sticking together. 17. Oh my goodness. I'm running out of space. 8. Oh, no. Didn't get to 18. All right. 18. No. Uh-oh. 19. Here's 8. Here's 19, maybe. 19. And 20. Wow. Well, I've got 20 so far. How many do you have? Well, my bowl is pretty much run out of space, and I sunk 3 or 4 of them. So I think that's a pretty good run, and I'm going to put 20 paper clips on my page. 20 clips. That's amazing. That's that surface tension where the water is hanging on to, the water molecules are hanging on to themselves. All right, so I'm going to put that game away with my paper clips and my fork. And we have one more game called, whoops, I'm going to go back to the FaceTime camera because I don't need the tabletop one for this one. This one is called Suck It Up. This game is called Suck It Up, and I'm not sure how we're going to score this one, but to do this one, you're going to need a bowl. You could use the paperclip bowl as well, but I just have a bigger bowl so it shows up on camera. You're going to need some paper towel and some tape and either a pencil or a barbecue skewer like I've got here. So what we're going to do is we're going to tape some strips of different kinds of things that are made out of paper onto the barbecue skewer, and we're going to see how much water will suck up the strip. So what I did is I put a little piece of tape on a strip of construction paper, and you could use toilet paper. You could use just all paper towel if you want. And I cut a strip of paper towel, or you could use just a big section of it too. I think maybe I'll do both. There's, my paper towel comes off when I rip it off in about, some fat sections and some, and then I cut one in half. So let's see. I am taping strips of paper towel to my barbecue skewer or pencil, just like this. Try to keep them dry. There's a skinny one that's about the same size as my construction paper. And one of the fat sections of toilet paper, not toilet paper, paper towel that's on my roll. I'm going to tape that. Okay. And if you have a little bit of toilet paper, whoa, I cut my toilet paper in a strip, but you could use the whole wide section of toilet paper if you want. Okay, I taped them. So you'll have something like this, either on a pencil or a barbecue skewer. And I am going to put some water in my bowl, my big old bowl. And I'm going to use a lot of water so that I can just hold it above. And then let's see. Let's see what happens when I stick the ends of my paper towel in. Good morning. Hi, how are you? Well, today we're going to talk about water and what would it do? Me, it's starting to rise up. Starting to rise up the paper strip. Whoa, little by little. Who's going to be the fastest? Would it be the paper towel or the toilet paper or the construction paper? And how far will it go? Wow. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see if this makes a difference. I have a little bit of food coloring. Actually, it's watercolor. And I'm going to see if you can see this better on camera. I mixed a little color in my water. Whoa, and is it rising? Wow. All right. I'm going to count to 25, and then we're going to stop and see which went up the highest. Okay. You can count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Woo! I'm taking them out. Okay, so now I'm going to hold it closer to the camera. And you can see, whoops, I'm dripping. I didn't get one in it. You can see how far the water traveled up the strip in just the short time that we were holding it above that. And I look and I'm dripping, and it looks like the paper towel and the toilet paper are tied. But look how far the water came up on just the construction paper. Wow. We could probably measure that in inches. I'm going to say 3 inches, probably 4.5 inches. And, well, that one's kind of longer. So we're going to go with 4 inches for the toilet paper. Wow. So that's how I'm going to score it. I'm going to say 3, 4, and 5. Where is my marker? So how far did your paper go up? Or how far did the water go up your paper? You can tell me. I got 3, 4.5, and 4. That's sort of random because I didn't really measure it. I could measure it with a ruler if I had one right now. And that would be kind of fun. I can see trying out different kinds of papers, different widths of papers. I didn't get to try out my big fat one. But wow, that really sucks up a lot of water too. Woohoo! A big fat one, you can see it. But that's kind of fun. It's an interesting experiment, and you keep trying and see what happens. Okay, so we're gonna tack this up, and that was our Suck It Up Olympic game. Ta-da! Well, water can do a lot of different cool things, and now we're gonna do something that's not actually a game, but just kind of an experience, and we're going to see what happens. What else can water do? It can do lots of things. It can travel up a piece of paper. It can hold on to itself. And we've done a lot of the surface tension games. So to bring today to our Water Olympics event, I said, bring some Skittles. So I forgot to get some Skittles at the store. So you might have Skittles, but I have some peppermint candy. And we are going to see what happens when you put some warm water onto a small bowl of Skittles placed in a circle around your plate. Now, we might not get to see the end of this experiment right now. Water dissolves things. I've got some color on my peppermint, and you have Skittles, sort of a rainbow of colors. What do you think will happen when the water starts to dissolve the colors on your candy? Well, let's find out. I'm going to put that down here under my tabletop camera. And let's get out some warm water. And all you need is some tap water. So if you're in your kitchen, you can go to the faucet and get a little cup of warm water. So, a little cup or a mug or whatever, put a little warm water in it, and let's find out what happens when we put some warm water on our candy. And it might take a few minutes. We might have to set it aside and take a look at it in maybe a half an hour. So I have some warm water in my travel mug. Let's see how hot it is. Oh yeah, it's still warm. And I'm gonna pour it into the bowl to cover my candies. Whoa! Now from my point of view, what I can see starting to happen already is the water dissolving the color in my candies. And it looks like I've got some streaks going all the way to the center. Were you guys able to do that with your Skittles? Whoa, I see a star almost in the middle of mine. Ooh, it's changing slowly, but it's really looking cool. Whoa, that's just a little bit of hot water, a little bit of, temperature, rise in temperature of water, and look what that can do. How are your Skittles looking? Now, over time, it might change and look really different. Mine is starting to dissolve all the red coloring in my candies. And I used to see a star just even seconds ago, and now I'm seeing more just red with a circle in the middle. But at first of all I saw was just a little streak here and there. Whoa! So water is really powerful stuff. So we'll leave that going for a few minutes. But I'm gonna move mine here up to the front, and you guys can keep watch on yours. Take a look and see what yours looks like, and maybe right after we're done here, and then maybe a half an hour later, and see how it changes, see how water dissolves things. All right, so water can also move things. And so I'm going back to the FaceTime camera, and we're gonna get out one more thing to do. Haha. I have some sand. Well, no, I actually don't have sand. I have something that looks like this, little pieces of gravel, but you might have some sand. I hope you do. And I have a big old pan here, and I've got a crowded table. So let me fix that. I'm gonna put my pan here and move my other stuff around. Okay, so here's my pan. To do this experiment, you're gonna need a little bit of sand and maybe some little pebbles or rocks. Let's see what we can move with water. So I'm gonna call this moving mountains. In the middle of my pan, and see how tall of a mountain that I can get. Whoa! So if you have some sand, let's see if you can see this. See my pebble mountain? All right, I'm gonna put some more in there. What do you think will happen to my sand or pebble mountain if I pour water on the top of it? Wow. You know, I think maybe I should just show you what this looks like from the tabletop camera. And mound up my pebbly mountain and change it to the tabletop. I think you'll be able to see it better. Okay, there we go. Okay, so see my sand mountain, and it's pretty tall. It's a pretty tall sand or pebble mountain. I'm going to stick my finger right in the middle so you can see that, yeah, it's burying my finger in there. So it's taller than my finger. What will happen if I take some water and pour it onto the mountain? Water moves things. Let's see if we can move some pebbles. Here we go. Whoa! What happened? Now when I stick my finger in it, it only goes up to my first joint in my finger. It's not as tall anymore. Let's see if I can move it some more over here. Oh, I made a little lake. Water moves things, and depending on if you have some sand, I just had some pebbles, but you can really see how it pushes against things, able to move things. And I have a little bit finer. Here's some aquarium gravel. Well, let's see, I got a little mountain there. See how my finger can move that mountain. Let's see if I can push that around with some water. All right, let's see. Oh, I make it spread out. Whoa, a little lake. And I decided, you know, when I was finding things to see if water would move it, I found a bottle cap. There's one, a couple of bottle caps, and I found a pine cone. And I thought, oh, and I found, well, and you can do anything around the house. I found a tree branch that was outside, and I'm gonna pour some water on some of that stuff and see if I can move it. Let's see what happens. Will my bottle caps move? Oh yeah. Oh, gotta get some more water. And let's see if I can move that pine cone. Oh, that pine cone isn't moving. Maybe it's too big, but look at my bottle caps are floating. So wow. Well, I'm gonna move my big pan, and we're gonna do an experiment with color. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to mix some colors by sucking up water. And to do this experiment, you're going to need Oh, let's see, 7 cups. I'm gonna back up here so you can see it better. There we go. 7 cups. And mine are big cups, but yours don't have to be. Yours can be little short cups like this. And I'm gonna put a few cups right in front of me. And what we're going for is trying to make a rainbow of colors like that. So you might have some canning jars or some plastic cups. We're gonna use some colors and try to mix some colors by having the water rise and suck up into our paper towel and see if we can get it to go from one side to one side to one side to one side to one side, and we'll kind of walk across our cups. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You don't have to do that many if you don't want. And I'm going to put a little bit of water in each one of my cups, maybe about halfway up until I run out. There we go. And this is another one of those experiments that you might not see the end of today while we're doing it here for First Step Science. But if you check it back later, you might see what happens later. Okay, and I'm almost, oh, you know what? I forgot. I was putting water in each one of the cups, and I just remembered I was only supposed to put water in every other cup. There we go. So 1 cup with water, 1 empty one, 1 cup with water, 1 empty one, 1 cup with water, 1 empty one. So put that back in. Oh, there we go. That's what you're supposed to do. 1 cup with water, 1 empty, 1 full, 1 empty, 1 with water, 1 empty, and then this one without. Whoa, I used too much water. Now the next thing I'm going to do is put some color in each one of them. So I'm going to start with, I have some red. So if you have some food coloring, you can put a couple of drops of red food coloring in there. I have some water. It's actually watercolor paint. That works good too. So there's some red. Woohoo! And now I'm gonna do some yellow, I think. And then there's this one I skip with no water in it, but I'm gonna put some yellow. Actually, that's turning out to be orange, but that's all right. And we'll see what happens when we mix these colors, and how is water gonna do that? It's gonna be amazing. And then I got blue. Blue's a nice strong color, but you can use any color you want. You can pick out what you like. And then this is what I'm going to do with my paper towel. We're going to see if we can get it to suck over there and do a rainbow of colors, kind of like the Olympic rings. Every Olympic ring is a different color. So I pulled off a piece of paper towel like this, and I'm folding it in half like that. And I'm sticking it one edge down there into my red water, and then one down into the cup with no water. And here's another one. And I'm folding it and folding it. And the one with no water just has a paper towel and then down into the orange water, which is supposed to be yellow. Now what's gonna happen? Am I gonna get some water in that cup? Let's find out. Oh, look, remember from the rising suck it up experiment, how the paper towel started to suck up water? It's doing it again. All right, so here's one down in there, and one down in the empty next cup, and then over. Whoa, it's rising. It's rising slowly. Oh man, I think, make sure your paper towel are touching water in each one of your cups. We can get that water to walk all the way over. All right, and my last one. Oops, this is in the way. Oh, I can see it rising already. I wonder what it's gonna look like about lunchtime. How are yours doing? Are yours sucking up some paper towel water in there? Okay, there we go. Ta-da! Oh, you know what? If I want, is it working? It's getting there. All right. So let's see how strong water can be. Well, we did a lot of things today. We did a whole lot of games. We did over the top with pennies, penny droppers, where we found out how many drops could fit on the head of a penny without spilling over. Both of those are displacement and surface tension. And then clippers, surface tension again. How many paper clips would actually float? That was a hard one. And then suck it up, and we're sucking up even more. And we even learned how water can move things and how water can dissolve things. So that is all of our fun things about what water can do today, and it can do a whole lot more. We'll say goodbye for today. Hope you had fun with the water games. I saw something I had never ever seen before. And here's where you get to make a choice. Was it a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex? And I'm just gonna stick some pine cones in my box, and then the fun starts. I just start rolling them around. The air rushing out of the balloon is gonna push that balloon up. So let's see what happens. All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. So that's how rockets kind of work. We are going to build 2 different kinds of rockets today.